Most traders obsess over indicators. They are looking for the holy grail that they can use to strike it rich, that every time the indicator gives them a signal, they can get in and they can make money. If you have followed me for very long, you know that I don't believe in the holy grail, but I do believe in the indicator that we're going to talk about today a lot, okay? What I'm going to do today in today's video, I am going to break down my favorite indicator for swing trading. We're going to talk about the 5-day simple moving average. The 5-day simple moving average is a tool that will help you cut through the noise. It's going to help you spot trends. It's going to help you spot momentum. And we're going to talk about why this indicator, I believe, makes a lot of sense for a lot of people's playbooks. So let's start with square one, okay? What is a moving average? Well, in plain, simple terms, a moving average is just a line that shows the average price over a set period of time. It's just a way to kind of smooth out the daily ups and downs of the price action on your favorite stocks so that you can see the trend. And instead of getting lost in the noise, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to get a more simple picture of what's going on in the stock's direction. So since this video is about the 5-day simple moving average, you can see it on this line on my chart. That's what this yellow line is. This is a 5-day simple moving average. So what this means is that this average is looking back at the price over the last 5 days, and it's just giving you an average, okay, over those last 5 days, and this updates every single day with the average. And so there are a bunch of moving averages out there that you can look at. There is the exponential moving average, which is a favorite of a lot of people. I use that in some of my strategies. But the simple moving average, or the SMA, is about as simple as it gets for an indicator. You just add up the closing number of prices over the certain number of days or time periods that you're looking at, and then you divide by that number. So a 5 simple moving average is simply the average of the last 5 closing prices. No fancy math involved, just the facts about what's been happening on the page here. Okay, so why do I love the 5 simple moving average for trading? Well, simple. There are 5 days in a week, right? 5 trading days in a week. So what the 5 SMA does is it gives you a rolling snapshot of a week's worth of price action. If a price stays above its 5 simple moving average, that's a clear indicator that buyers have been in control for over a week. And if it's holding below the 5 simple moving average, then that could mean that momentum's fading. And if it's hovering right along the simple moving average and it's not trading above or below it, that means that, there's not really a clear direction. And so this is a perfect indicator for swing traders that are looking for moves that are going to last for a few days to a week or 2 weeks or even longer. Okay, so let's talk for a minute about how I use the 5-period simple moving average at kind of a high level, okay? When I see a stock that is holding above the 5 SMA for several days, then I know that that's a pretty strong move, that move has a lot of momentum behind it. And so what I'll do is I'll keep it on my watch list and I'll look for like an entry on a pullback. This could be a stock that's had like a catalyst recently and prices continue to climb higher, or this could be like a sector that is starting to heat up or that's been heated up for a while and it's been in an uptrend or whatever. Now, it's important to know that I am not an indicator guy when it comes to like creating strategies around indicators so much as I am using indicators for strategies that I've already got. And so I'm not just buying every touch of the 5 SMA in either direction and stuff like that. There's more to it. You have to learn the basics about trading. You have to know how to read price action. You have to know how to confirm moves with volume. You have to know about waiting for extensions, like so that you can get good entries. And honestly, just making sure that the overall market or the overall sector is on your side. And that's where a solid checklist before you would get into a trade is going to look like. So let me show you really quickly on a chart what I'm talking about. Okay, so on this chart for this example that I have up here, I have BITO. This is like a Bitcoin ETF. And so what you can see is you can see how the price reacts regularly around the 5-period SMA. When it's trading below the 5-period SMA for extended periods of time, then it continues to kind of trade lower. And when it trades above the 5-period simple moving average for an extended period of time, it tends to trade higher. So to look at this example here, you can see that back at the beginning of April, we had like several consecutive days above the 5-period simple moving average until around April 30th. So we had about 20 days, not 20 trading days, but 20 days of the month where it was trading above. And then we finally started to get some moves below. And what do we know about trends, right? We know that trends don't go up in a straight line. Nothing goes up in a straight line. The trends go up, they have pullbacks, and then they balance a little bit, and then they continue higher. The market moves in waves. I've got videos on this if you need to know how the market moves. I've got a video out there about catching the meat of the move, surf school, stuff like that. So watch those videos on my playlist if you want more details on how trends work. But I'm going to assume just a basic understanding of trends here. When you've moved up, you're eventually going to get a pullback. And so this move below the 5 SMA in a trend, we've put in a higher high here, is a sign that we could be just having a dip before the next move higher. So you could technically get in at any point on BITO on this area here, and then you can see that what this does is this allows you to get in before the next move up on the 5-period simple moving average here. Okay, so there's one example for you about how the 5 SMA works really well for you. I'll give you another example from more recent times, XLK, which is the tech sector, or actually I'll use QQQ because that's traded quite a bit. You can see that again, if we zoom out here, you can see that again, we're putting in higher highs on the chart. We've got a trend going on, and you can see that back here around mid to late April, again, we started having these moves up in the market where we had several consecutive days in a row above the 5-period simple moving average before a pullback. Well, let's talk about scenarios and what we had going on. Well, after putting in a bottom here, we came up, we put in a higher low, and now we've just put in a higher high. And so again, we've got this trending move that's happening, and we've pulled back below the 5-period simple moving average. So you have your kind of entry window here before the next leg up. And now we are trading up here at 520 as of today, and we are, within just a few percent of all-time highs again on QQQ. And so the 5 SMA is a great opportunity for entries, and honestly, when it loses the 5 SMA for a little while, that's a great opportunity for exits as well. Now, when it comes to timing my trades, those are the kind of setups that I love on swing trading. And when it comes to timing my trades, I found that the best setups, they tend to happen near the close, or they tend to happen near the open the next day after a dip below the 5 SMA. So you're typically going to get either a move near the close that day where the selling pressure has really picked up and you can get in at a good price, or it's going to dip below and then the next day it's going to move a little bit lower. Maybe over the next couple days before the move up. And so you've kind of got a little bit of a window where you can get in on this trade. But as long as the sector momentum's strong, as long as the trend is still intact, and there's not like a huge catalyst or something causing, the oversold conditions or the dip below the 5 SMA or whatever, or as long as the market isn't just in balancing mode where it's trying to figure out what's next because we're coming off of new all-time highs or something like that, this is a trade that I love to take. If you want my full 5 SMA checklist, you want risk management tips, you want weekly trade ideas or whatever, check out the free Legacy Profits Club newspaper. It can be found at the link in the description of this video. And if you're ready to go even deeper than that, I've got a community dedicated to trading that has access to my full trading playbook that includes, the specifics on the 5 SMA trade and a ton of other trades as well. I provide regular trade reviews so you can grow, daily trade ideas, and just a community full of experts that are helping each other grow and get better as a trader. If you're interested in that, you can also find that at the link in the description. And thank you for watching. If you're new to trading, let me know what basics you want covered next. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get some more real-world trading tips every single week. Subscribe, like, hit the notification button so you don't miss future videos, and I'll see you next time.